Think you know history? Think again. Solve 41 twisted riddles about real medieval secrets, torture devices, zombie plagues, and kings who drilled skulls. Perfect for kids, history lovers, and anyone brave enough to face the dark ages. Like, subscribe, and prove you're smarter than a medieval peasant. Number 1. Riddle. What sharp seat made people scream using gravity? Clue. It wasn't a chair, and it wasn't for sitting. Answer. The Judas Cradle. Brief history. The Judas Cradle was a pyramid-shaped torture device. Victims were lowered onto its spike, tearing their bodies. It was used to extract confessions or punish sinners in medieval Europe. Number 2. Riddle. What slimy creature saved lives in the Crusades? Clue. Soup made from this garden pest fought poison. Answer. Slugs. Brief history. During the Crusades, physician Guido da Vigevano noticed slugs eating poisonous aconite leaves. He boiled them into soup to cure aconite poisoning, and it worked. Number 3. Riddle. Why did a saint burn her own body with hot fat? Clue. She feared something sinful, even more than pain. Answer. To avoid pleasure during sex. Brief history. Saint Francesca Romana burned herself with hot fat to avoid feeling pleasure during sex. Medieval rules said women couldn't enjoy intimacy, or they'd go to hell. Number 4. Riddle. What king slept for a year and a half like a baby? Clue. He woke up forgetting faces, and his throne. Answer. King Henry VI. Brief history. King Henry VI fell into a coma for 18 months after a shock. When he woke, he acted like a child and forgot his own kingdom. He ruled poorly and was later murdered. Number 5. Riddle. Why did medieval doctors drain blood based on stars? Clue. They thought the zodiac controlled your veins. Answer. Bloodletting. Brief history. Doctors believed bad blood caused sickness. They used zodiac charts to decide where to cut veins. Spoiler. It killed more people than it saved. Number 6. Riddle. How old was the average medieval man when he died? Clue. Younger than your big brother. Answer. 31 years old. Brief history. Life was brutal. Men died young from war, disease, or famine. Women lived slightly longer, but only if they survived childbirth. Number 7. Riddle. Why did medieval people drink beer for breakfast? Clue. Water could kill them, but this made them dizzy. Answer. Water was too dangerous. Brief history. Rivers were filled with poop and plague. Beer was safer because boiling killed germs. But yes, they were drunk by noon. Number 8. Riddle. What disease did kings cure by touching necks? Clue. Black sores plus royal hands equals magic. Answer. The king's evil, tuberculosis. Brief history. Kings claimed their touch could heal tuberculosis. King Henry IV cured 1,500 people, but most still died. It was all for show. Number 9. Riddle. What book said 74% of people were not free? Clue. It counted everything, like a creepy census. Answer. The Doomsday Book. Brief history. Written in 1086, this book recorded every person, animal, and crop in England. Most were serfs, slaves who worked for lords their whole lives. Number 10. Riddle. What punishment involved horses, guts, and 4 parts? Clue. It wasn't quick, and it wasn't pretty. Answer. Drawing and quartering. Brief history. Traitors were tied to horses, ripped apart, and chopped into pieces. Their body parts were displayed in towns to scare rebels. Number 11. Riddle. Why did Crusaders attack a Christian city in 1204? Clue. They prayed wrong, so they had to die. Answer. The Fourth Crusade. Brief history. Crusaders attacked Constantinople, a Christian city, because they disagreed on church rules. They stole treasures and killed thousands. Number 12. Riddle. What killed half of Europe in the 1340s? Clue. Rats, fleas, and 50% chance to survive. Answer. The Black Plague. Brief history. The plague spread through flea bites. Bodies piled in streets. People thought it was God's punishment, but really, it was bad hygiene. Number 13. Riddle. WHO was blamed for the plague in Europe and massacred? Clue. Hated for their faith, and not the real cause. Answer. Jews. Brief history. Jews were falsely accused of poisoning wells. Thousands were burned or exiled. It took 400 years for England to let them return. Number 14. Riddle. What made Europe starve for 2 years in 1315? Clue. Too much rain plus rotting crops equals disaster? Answer. The Great Famine. Brief history. Rain flooded farms for years. Crops rotted and people ate rats, bark, and even each other. 10% of Europe starved to death. Number 15. Riddle. What battle started with a juggler throwing a spear? Clue. Saxons versus Normans, and a circus trick. Answer. The Battle of Hastings. Brief history. In 1066, Norman soldiers sent a juggler to mock the Saxons. When he threw a spear, the Saxons charged, and lost the battle, in England. Number 16. Riddle. Which king usurped the throne and lost his nephews? Clue. 2 princes vanished. He became king. Answer. Richard III. Brief history. Richard III locked his nephews in the Tower of London. They disappeared, and he became king. Their bodies were found 200 years later, under stairs. Number 17. Riddle. WHO banned all Jews from England in 1290? Clue. He blamed them, and kicked them out for 400 years. Answer. King Edward I. Brief history. Edward I needed money and blamed Jews for problems. He expelled them and took their wealth. Jews only returned in the 1600s. Number 18. Riddle. WHO was the woman that defended a castle twice at 60? Clue. A widow plus a king's plea equals medieval girl power. Answer. Nicola de la Haye. Brief history. Nicola defended Lincoln Castle from sieges in 1216. She was so brave, King John begged her to keep ruling even when she was old. Number 19. Riddle. What king used criminals to defeat French knights? Clue. Prisoners plus battles equals surprise victories. Answer. King Edward III. Brief history. Edward III recruited thieves and murderers for his army. These criminals destroyed French knights in battles like Crécy and Agincourt. Number 20. Riddle. How did King Richard Lionheart die? Clue. A chef's revenge, with a kitchen weapon. Answer. A crossbow bolt. Brief history. Richard was shot by a crossbow while fighting in France. The shooter? A chef he'd insulted. The wound got infected, and he died days later. Number 21. Riddle. Why did London ban slaughterhouses in 1371? Clue. The stink was worse than the plague. Answer. Rotting meat stench. Brief history. Rotting meat guts piled up in London streets. The smell was so bad, King Edward III banned butchers from the city. Number 22. Riddle. Where did medieval people party, shop, and vote? Clue. Graves plus markets equals weird fun. Answer. Cemeteries. Brief history. Cemeteries were social hubs. People held markets, plays, and even trials there. Shops didn't pay taxes, so business boomed among tombstones. Number 23. Riddle. How many medieval kids died before age 7? Clue. Plagues, coughs, survival was rare. Answer. 20–30%, or more. Brief history. Kids died from diseases like smallpox, whooping cough, or starvation. Parents often lost multiple children. It was part of life. Number 24. Riddle. What did medieval people call zombies? Clue. Corpses that groaned and walked. Answer. Revenants. Brief history. People believed corpses could rise if they died with unfinished business. Monks wrote about revenants haunting villages and abbeys. Number 25. Riddle. Why did people want to die slowly? Clue. Quick death equals eternal wandering. Answer. To confess sins before death. Brief history. Dying slowly meant time to confess sins and get last rites. A quick death meant your soul was stuck on earth forever as a ghost. Number 26. Riddle. What tombs showed rotting corpses with worms? Clue. Rich folks' creepy bragging. Answer. Transy tombs. Brief history. Transy tombs had statues of the dead rotting, eaten by worms. It reminded everyone, no matter how rich you are, you'll decay too. Number 27. Riddle. How did Charlemagne check if Roland was dead? Clue. He didn't use a mirror, he used his teeth. Answer. Bit his toe. Brief history. In a medieval poem, Charlemagne bit his friend Roland's toe to see if he was alive. Roland woke up screaming, then died anyway. Number 28. Riddle. What metal pair tore people apart from inside? Clue. Not a fruit, but a torture tool. Answer. The choke pear. Brief history. The choke pear was inserted into mouths or other body parts. When open, its metal spikes ripped flesh, used to punish liars or rebels. Number 29. Riddle. How did torturers use rats to make people scream? Clue. Hot metal plus hungry rat equals horrid. Answer. Rats burrowed into bellies. Brief history. A rat was placed on a victim's stomach and trapped under a hot bowl. To escape the heat, it chewed through the person's body. Number 30. Riddle. What spiked chair kept victims alive while bleeding? Clue. Sit here and pray for death. Answer: the iron chair. Brief history. The iron chair had hundreds of spikes. Victims bled slowly but stayed alive until torturers removed them, often days later. Number 31. Riddle. Why did the church kill Christians in France in 1209? Clue: their prayers were wrong, so they burned. Answer: the Albigensian Crusade. Brief history. The church attacked the Cathars, a Christian group in France, for disagreeing with Catholic rules. Thousands were burned as heretics. Number 32. Riddle. What did criminals wear to shame them forever? Clue: scary faces, but not Halloween masks. Answer: animal masks or badges. Brief history. Thieves wore masks like pigs or donkeys in public. Others wore badges saying, thief, or liar. Humiliation was the punishment. Number 33. Riddle. What plague made people dance until they died? Clue: 1374. Dance, collapse, repeat, until death. Answer: the dancing plague. Brief history. In 1374, hundreds danced uncontrollably in France. Some danced until their hearts stopped. Was it poison? Mass hysteria? Nobody knows. Number 34. Riddle. Which pope tried a corpse for crimes in 897? Clue: he hated his dead boss, so he dug him up. Answer: Pope Stephen VI. Brief history. Pope Stephen VI put his dead predecessor, Pope Formosus, on trial. He found the corpse guilty, cut off its fingers, and threw it in a river. Number 35. Riddle. Why did people drag murderers to graves? Clue: they thought corpses could bleed on command. Answer: Cruentation, magic bleeding. Brief history. People believed a corpse would bleed if its murderer touched it. They used this test in trials, even though it never worked. Number 36. Riddle. What gross necklace prevented babies? Clue: donkey poop plus weasel balls equals no kids. Answer: dung, weasel testicle necklaces. Brief history. Women wore necklaces of weasel testicles, donkey dung, or cat bones to avoid pregnancy. It was superstitious and super gross. Number 37. Riddle. Why did people kill black cats in 1232? Clue: the Pope said they were Satan's pets. Answer: fear of witches. Brief history. Pope Gregory IX claimed witches worshipped black cats. Thousands were killed, leading to more rats and more plague. Oops. Number 38. Riddle. Did medieval people really throw poop out windows? Clue: they had pits, but rivers got dirty. Answer: no, they used pits or buckets. Brief history. Most cities had cesspits or dumped waste into rivers. But no, they didn't toss it out windows. That's a myth. But streets still stank. Number 39. Riddle. How did doctors cure madness in the Middle Ages? Clue: drill a hole, let the demons out. Answer: trepanning, skull drilling. Brief history. Doctors drilled holes in skulls to release evil spirits, causing madness. Some survived, but many died from infections. Number 40. Riddle. What did they wash clothes with that smelled like pee? Clue: ash plus urine equals clean laundry. Answer. Lye made from urine. Brief history. They mixed ash and urine to make lye, a cleaning soap. It worked, but yeah, clothes smelled like pee. Number 41. Riddle. Which saint licked lepers' sores and ate their scabs? Clue. She thought it was holy, but gross. Answer. Saint Angela of Foligno. Brief history. Saint Angela of Foligno believed suffering brought her closer to God. She licked lepers' wounds, drank water from washing their feet, and even ate their scabs to show devotion. People called her a saint, but today, we'd call it very unhygienic. So, what's the truth about the Middle Ages? It was a time of horror, but also hope. People survived plagues with slug soup. Women defended castles. They faced death by laughing at their own rotting statues. This era teaches us. Humans adapt. Even in darkness, they found light. But remember, these secrets were buried for a reason. Would you want to live in a world of choke pears, zombie corpses, and scab-eating saints? Next time you complain about Wi-Fi, thank your lucky stars you're not on the iron chair. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your wildest medieval thoughts below. History's darkest secrets, now you know.